So recently I broadcast an episode on London Real about the 100th teenager murdered on the current mayor's watch. And it was a very sad day, and that happened a few months ago. But this weekend, it got much, much worse in London. And it started in Croydon on Friday night with 10 different stabbings, 1 death, in 5 what looked like completely unrelated incidents. And that same night on Friday, we actually had a stabbing right near our office, and there was actually blood on our lobby floor. There were a massive amount of armed police officers. They locked us up in our building temporarily, and it's still a crime scene. So it really hit home, that one. And then on Sunday, we learned that Sven Badzak, a young man, 22 years old in Kilbourne, who had actually gone to school with Prince Harry, I believe, was off to get orange juice for his mom and was stabbed and killed by a group of 8 young men. His friend, who was 16 years old, is currently in the hospital, and his mother is now pleading for any information of his killing. And The Sun, the newspaper here in London, has now put out a £20,000 reward for any information leading to the killing of this young man who had pictures himself with the Prime Minister from the past. And I think the conclusion here is that the knife crime in this city is now at a totally unacceptable level. And it's something we've been talking about for months and for years. It's something we've been asking the mayor for solutions. And this episode that I did a couple months ago showed that year on year for the past 5 years, we've seen an increase in knife crime with no plans, no ideas, no solutions from the current mayor of London. It seems to all be blaming someone else. It's someone else's fault. And what I think we desperately need right now are 2 things. We need some ownership from the mayor to publicly come out and say, guess what? It's my city, and I have to take ownership of the problems of this city. And second of all, come up with a solution. We need a solution to this. And yet instead, the mayor has just come out with his brand new campaign slogan, which is tough on crime. And when I read that yesterday, I mean, it almost made me want to cry. I mean, I have 3 children myself, and I live 10 minutes away from Kilbourne, and I couldn't imagine how Sven's mother feels right now, knowing that she's never going to see one of her sons again. I couldn't imagine what that feels like. And yet our mayor is trying to get reelected with the slogan tough on crime, when literally he's got blood on his hands. And so the question I have to ask all Londoners is, do you want 3 more years of this? Because on May 6th, if you vote Labour, that's what you're going to get. And it's something you're going to have to think seriously about. I've spoken with senior people about knife crime. I've talked about ideas and solutions. I've talked about prevention rather than cure. It's time we have a leader with some ownership, and it's time we have a leader with solutions.